I'm outdoors with the Civic half zip 22, putting some miles on it, loaded up with a steel plate, a sandbag, and some water to find out if it's good for rucking. That might be one of the questions you ask about this CHZ 22. So we'll answer that one, along with comparing it to the PLC20. Let's get to it. So here we are, we're gonna compare this Civic half zip 22 CHZ 22 to the PLC20, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But the real question that I wanted to answer today was, can you ruck with this thing? And the answer is yes. So what did I have in this bag? Put a 10-pound sandbag in the bottom of it, and then I had one of the RUCK steel plates. I had the 20-pounder today, so it's combined 30 pounds of weight. Also had the camelback bladder routed through and coming out the straps, so that was how I rucked with this bag, and it did really awesome. The back panel that they put on all of these new EVERGOODS bags is really nice. It is nice and smooth, no real abrasion issues that I had on my 5-mile ruck, and also the inside of these straps were fine. The harness system is contoured and is very, very comfortable, and I really had no issues with it. One of my concerns from other bags was, would the bottom sort of jut out and stick me in the back, and it didn't. So with this combo steel plate, it was in the the laptop sleeve in the back of the bag, which I'll show you in a little bit, and then the sandbag was at the bottom, so I really had sort of an awkward weight combination, but it did really well. It was super comfortable throughout the entire ruck, and I had water, and I do like this system of routing a bladder through here because you can have it extended or jam it back up inside just to have this hose not all flying around, because there's really no other way to really attach something. You could put, I guess, put a carabiner through here and route it through there, or maybe just route it underneath the straps or under the sternum strap, either way. But I did like the ability to kind of pull this thing out, use it, and then kind of force it back in there to have a shorter hose flying around. So that's how I rucked with this thing today. It did awesome, very comfortable. So the plate was just in the laptop pocket in the back, so not very secure side to side, although I didn't really have any issues with that rucking around. But it didn't, if I were to do any plank position, that thing's just gonna fly out, hit me in the head, because this bag, again, is not designed for rucking. But it did very nice holding 30 plus pounds, probably about 35 pounds of the gear, and it was just a very, very comfortable rucking bag. If you wanted one to just kind of do it all and occasionally put maybe a sandbag or some plates in there, it did real well. The problem might be long-term, that pocket, although because it's stretchy, designed for a laptop, really is probably going to get abused over time. And so, you know what? That's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to ruck with this thing off and on to see how it does, in a long-term test sort of configuration. So we'll do that. So yes, you can ruck with the CHZ 22 quite comfortably, I'd say. And I did enjoy it and had no issues with the bag in the rucking configuration. Fantastic. Let's get into the rest of the features of the bag just to show you what this Civic half zip is, and then we'll, off and on compare it to one of my best bags of 22, one of my favorite bags right now, and its overstuffed configuration. This is the PLC20. And what I really love about this bag is just the distribution of space, and this big front pocket is fantastic, and I do love the way that's sort of organized, and it is great. But it doesn't have outdoor specific features that I can only find in the CHZ 22, namely the way to route the bladder and the ability to carry mother gear externally in these side pockets that you only find in the CHZ 22. Now this is kind of weird. It kind of looks awkward right now because I've got, first of all, the inside packed out with a bunch of stuff. I took the sandbag out, I took the steel plate out just so it was a little more maneuverable here on the table. But I also have these, the front is really stretched out because I've got the 1 liter size Nalgene bottle, the biggest one that I've ever put in here, and really that's what it's designed for. And then I've got a Peak Design tripod on the other side. So really, boom, that's what kind of disfigures the front panel and really accentuates this, duckbill rhino pocket that some people complain about. So we'll take those things out just to get them out of the way, and to show you what this bag really looks like in just its normal configuration. So not so stretched out, but the way this space is distributed, it does allow for this pocket to sort of get kind of, accentuated. into what people call this duckbill. But for me, I think the overall features of this bag override that. Although if I were to design it again, I would make this thing a little different. And so what is the real purpose of the CHZ22 compared to maybe the PLC20? Well, the CHZ, the Civic half zip, obviously it's a half zip, but it's really just to be a single compartment, single cavity bag, very simple and minimal pockets. And so it does that pretty well. In my opinion, I do like these bottle pockets. They're big, spacious, and then when they're not in use, boop, out of the way, and really out of sight because they're just kind of stuck there. And it's all black, so they just don't stick out. The half zip feature is awesome, and I'll get to that in a second. But you also have the top pocket, which is in really every EVERGOODS bag. That is awesome, and no different here. But the difference in this one compared to directly with the PLC20 is this pocket is a lot deeper. So where maybe you had some issues putting, you know, wallet and phone and sunglasses and reading glasses all in this top pocket, not really an issue with this one. It is deeper, so my phone fits all the way in there, the wallet, everything fits inside this pocket, which is awesome. A little D-ring in there, or a little key ring if you want, which is standard on all these bags. But again, nice, big, spacious, and a little bit more spacious than the PLC20, just going head to head. Now before I get into the inside, again, bottle pockets, standard harness system, which I've already kind of highlighted, and it is nice. The way to route the bladder hoses, which I don't have in the PLC20, is awesome. Sternum strap, great. And this back panel is breathable and nice. And honestly, I was outside rucking about an hour ago and it's already dry. So it's very nice. Now, one feature that is awkward for me, and it is the pathway of this zipper. You know, on the PLC20, it kind of just goes loud, you know, it's pretty much a big straight line. This thing is completely overloaded, overstuffed, and I got no issues with that zipper up and over. This one on the CHZ, for some reason, I just seem to be having a little bit of trouble on the corners here, and you can see from the top angle, it's hard to see here, but these two zipper tracks are pretty close together. So really the zipper track here, a little problematic for me, very minor though. The zipper does go fairly smoothly. It's a number 10 YKK, so it's awesome and it's fantastic, just like on every other EVERGOODS bag. Little tiny panel, patch panel in the front, cool. I just got some of their individual ones, the little 3-pack of theirs. This is the retro metallic, I guess, but it's cool. I like it. Bottom, great, slightly padded, but not overly padded, not enough to add any weight. Now the best feature of the Civic half zip is, if you ask me, the ability to just go boom, go to work. And because it's a half zip, this is designed to really open up and have access to all the pockets. Now there's only 2 pockets on the inside. One that's, you know, here, this main pocket, which is really sort of a, you know, an angled shape, a Dorito, a triangle, some sort of weird rhombus, but it's basically very, very spacious because it fits that whole front area of the bag, way deeper than the typical pockets you see on the inside flaps of any of the other EVERGOODS bags, because it kind of fits that whole void of that area. So, you know, you can make this one a little bit thinner and not as deep and improve the overlook of the bag, if you ask me. I'm not a bag designer though, so don't ask me. The other mesh pocket, which is on the top, is bottom opening, but only if you have it up like this. So, because it doesn't do clamshell and you only use it this way, it's awesome because you're actually opening the top of the compartment and then the zipper part goes down. So you do have plenty of room in here to put other things that you can see through the mesh. It's not segmented like some of the other pockets that you'll see on EVERGOODS products, but it's just one wide open pocket, which is awesome, and I do like it. Inside is all gray, standard gray that you see on all the EVERGOODS bags. I like that because it's easier to see stuff, you don't lose it as easy. But now I do have the top area with a Dan Matsuda article in here, which is probably the only kind of thing you'd be able to fit in here, a smaller tech pouch maybe. But because you've got this bigger pocket up here and you got this space maybe taken up with a bladder like I have here, you really have limited real estate in between here, and again, it's going to force that stuff out. But if you did have something, maybe it would make this thing not quite as duckbillish. But anyway, it's kind of hard to find something that fits perfectly in there. Inside in the bottom, I just got a couple of shadow pockets to take up some space, just to show you and make it stand. It does stand quite easily. And that's really nice because if it's going to be a big dump pouch kind of a bag where you're going to work out of it, you're going to set it down and want to zip it out and it's going to work. So I think it stands pretty nice. And in my experience, it's once you put stuff in there, it does a real nice job. If it's only half full though, it's like every other bag, it's going to fall over because it's not designed really to stand on its own without stuff inside. On the inside also with these front pockets, you got little attachment loops, pens, pocket knives, anything you want to lash into here, maybe a little carabiner for some keys, you name it, you put whatever you want on there, but I do like that ability. Underneath and behind this pocket is a little bit of space, and there's a little bit of there's a loop back there, and that's what I've got my bladder. This is a Camelback bladder, but any one that you get would fit in there, and it just hangs, and then it's actually stuck into the back laptop compartment, which is stretchy on the side. So good, you're gonna fit any laptop that you have in there, no problem. And again, the steel plate was perfect and it fit in there. This pocket though is again not stressed for steel plates, it's stressed for laptops, designed to be stretchy. So that thing is gonna wear out over time if you keep putting steel plates in it, but as an occasional rucker, one bag to do it all, you could potentially use that for this. Use this for that. And again, like I mentioned, the front end, the ability to kind of route that bladder hose in or out, just take up some of the slack. I do like that feature, and if you don't have this thing packed out, it's going to be super easy to get this in or out, just to be at the perfect length for whatever you happen to want to use it for. Now, comparing it to the PLC, again, the PLC's got this big front compartment, which is, I think, its best feature. And inside, because it's clamshell, all these bags fit a little differently. This one's overloaded with a bunch of stuff, some more shadow pockets, the Cap 2L from EVERGOODS, and again, their pockets, because it opens clamshell, has the two pockets not exactly like this, because this one is very shallow. It's actually no dimension to it whatsoever. It's very shallow because you're really not using the front of the bag for space like you are here. And this one is again segmented because you have two different little areas to put stuff and keep things organized in this pocket here. Not a big deal here for me. I mean, this one's just kind of a gimmick. I kind of like it, but not a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination. Material wise, on this one you've got the older ballistic nylon on the PLC20, and then after that bag was introduced, they came out with their 840D balanced material, ballistic, and I do like the feel of this. Everything I've gotten from the Cast 2, the CPL24, and now this one in this new material I do like. It's a smoother yet still ballistic looking, definitely cleans up nicer, and again, because like I said, I rucked with this thing earlier, it was completely sweated out in the back. It's already dry, the back panel, everything they're putting into these bags is top notch. Love it, so I can't say enough about the build quality of any of the bags I've gotten from EVERGOODS, and this one doesn't disappoint. All that being said, what if I were to combine these two and have the best of both worlds? What would I do? Well, really, I would start with a CHZ22, and I would add some features from the CPL. So what do I love about this? I like the bottle pockets, I like the new material, I like the back panel, I like the ability to route bladders. I don't love the front of the bag and its utilization of space. Personally, I think they could do something, some little hybrid of having maybe this pocket have the internal flat pocket like you have here, and then have the PLC sort of 20 pocket in the front. Now, what's awkward about that is it would not be the same size. It would need to be a little bit shallower because you still want to retain that fold open option. But I do think that would be a better use of the space, maybe prevent this duckbill situation from happening. But that's just me. They probably already consider that because they're smarter than me when it comes to designing bags. I'm just a reviewer. But there it is. That's how I would basically take the best of both worlds. I would take mostly this bag and add some of the features that you see here, namely this front pocket area, because I do like the pockets, I do like the deeper front pocket, I like the bladders, I do like most everything in both these bags. I just think combined would be perfect. All right, so there you go. That's what I think of the CHZ22 from EVERGOODS. Great bag. Can it ruck? It can ruck. Does it do it well? Yes, I think it does very well, and it was very comfortable. Will it work out long term with the constant abuse of putting steel and sand inside? I don't know, but we're going to continue to do that and give you an update here in a few weeks after I put more miles on this thing with those heavier items inside. But great bag, awesome features. Yeah, I wish I could combine some of the things between the two. Will the duckbill be its final downfall for me. I don't know. Let's see in a few weeks after I used it a little bit more. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot more coming out, so you're not going to miss that ever. And so, like I always say, let's get outside and enjoy what's going on, because everything's better outside.